friends, welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we're gardening here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. It is a beautiful Sunday morning. It's Easter. Happy Easter to those of you who celebrate. And we have an unboxing to do for some mail order plants from Brex.com. So come on along with me and let's see what we've got. Brex.com is a website that I go to very frequently. Almost every year I order at least some fall bulbs, well, spring bulbs for fall planting from Brex. They're an importer from Holland into the US and they've been working, their box says they've been selling since 1818. So I'm not sure exactly what the company history is, but I do know that the year that we bought our very first house in 1991, we were very young and just starting our family. And pretty much the first junk mail I got at our new house was a catalog from Brex. So they definitely keep their eye on homeowners and they get you hooked into gardening and they get you with their beautiful photos and the you know, it's just so tempting. And oh my gosh, they are so frequent with their mailings. They've got catalogs and catalogs and catalogs and specialty catalogs and peony catalogs and daylily catalogs and daffodil catalogs and da-da-da-da-da all year long. So anyway, they definitely have gotten me as a loyal customer and I have ordered bulbs from them for years. And just in the last few years, I've started to try their perennial selections. And so you should know that when you mail order perennials from, you know, big companies like this, very frequently they're going to come to you as bare root. Now you can read in their website or in their catalog to make sure what kind of plant you're getting. If you want something that is in a pot, just make sure you're reading the fine print to make sure that that's what you're getting, because so often they come bare root. So I placed this order on February 17th of this year, and I knew at the time that they weren't going to ship to me right then. They make it very clear that they will ship to you for your zone when it's proper planting time for your zone. So if you're ordering in January or February, you're gonna have to wait for your plants to come. But if you're ordering like right now, you probably get them like that week. These were put into the mail. I got the shipping confirmation on March 26th and they arrived yesterday, which would be, what, April 3rd? So it took just a little over a week in the mail. So I'm hoping that they haven't suffered from being in this box for over a week. They do have air holes, but let's see how it looks. This is another example of that. I don't really remember what I ordered, so it's gonna be like a surprise. Okay, when you order from Brex, they always send you pretty good information. So here's my packing order. This is special product information. It's possible that the perennials will have sprouted during shipment. It's quite normal and won't affect the growth of your plants. Okay, so it's just a quick note to tell you, don't worry if your plants have sprouts on them. And then they always send you this planting handbook, which tells you for all the different types of plants that they sell, how to plant them. So that's very useful. I think I probably, if I had saved them, I would have like 3 dozen of these by now. All right, in this package, we have one First Blush Hosta. This First Blush Hosta, in the catalog, it showed that it was a green leaf with kind of a maroonish red edges to the leaves. And they said that it's the first reddish Hosta on the market. So that'll be exciting to see how that looks. We have one Rose Lily Editha. Rose lily is basically an oriental lily that comes up and is so double that it almost looks like a rose. So I'm excited to have one of those. We have 3 Japanese bottle brush plants. Those are perennials that they send up kind of these little, well, they look like bottle brushes. We have 5 goat's beard. Now I'm excited about this because goat's beard is one of the plants that can grow in shade and it gets tall. And so I'm eager to have some tall shade plants in this side yard over here by the porch because everything we have over here so far is kind of knee-high or lower. One Raspberry Sundae Hosta, and this is an interesting new one for me. I've never grown this either, and the stems on it are red, so it's kind of like Swiss chard or rhubarb, but then the leaves are kind of green, so that'll be fun. And then I bought 50 Dutch iris bulbs. So those will be nice to have. I'll probably put them in 2 or 3 different places. I'm not gonna put all 50 in one clump, but probably 2 or 3 different places around the yard. All right, let's see how they look. Goat's beard, here's one goat's beard. So as you can see, they put them in plastic, and then inside this plastic is a bare root plant, and they store it in peat moss. So let me just pull one out for you. This is what it looks like. I mean, there's not much to it. The rest of this is all just peat moss. So you can see that it has started to put out some shoots. It's going to grow the plant from up here. And then these are all the roots. Actually, this is a root. What is that? I don't know what that is. It's not connected to this. So I'm probably gonna toss that away. If I were really adventurous, I would plant this up and see what it turns into. Maybe I'll do that. Let's do that. Okay, anyway, so here is, and this thing here is a root as well, it looks like, based on the fact that it's connected to stuff that looks more like a root. And then the shoots of the plants are these pink things up here. I don't know if you can see that. This is the plant, this is the root. All right, so that's what a bare root plant looks like. Basically, you're looking to make sure that it doesn't have, oh, there's something else in here. Oh, so it looks like some of the roots of the plant fell off in packing. Yeah, that's all that's in there. Okay, so when you get bare root plants, perennials, what you want to make sure is that they're not moldy, they're not slimy, they're not dried up and like shriveled. And if any of those things happen, I would contact the company that you bought from and tell them that they did not arrive in good condition and that you would like them to make your purchase right. Okay, 50 Dutch iris bulbs. These are starting to sprout as well. I need to get these in the ground as soon as I possibly can. They want sun or part shade, and they flower in late spring or early summer. So I gotta get them in if they're gonna bloom in late spring or early summer. 4 inches deep, 3 to 4 inches apart, and they get to be 25 inches tall. And they are purple blue falls with a yellow lip. Okay, this is the Editha rose lily. Actually, it's one package on the packing label, but it's 3 bulbs in this package. So let me show you what a lily bulb looks like. Again, these are Oriental lilies of a special variety that are so double that you think they might be roses. And this is a pretty typical a pretty typical lily bulb. It has a really interesting form to it. Kind of looks like little succulent petals all closed up around the center. And then that's the root. So there's 3 of them in here. And this package says you plant them 6 inches deep and 9 to 12 inches apart. And they grow to be 22 to 24 inches tall, and you want to put them in part to full sun. And they will bloom in midsummer. These are candy pink double flowers. And then if you leave them in the ground, they will increase year after year. So this is going to be a really nice addition to the garden. Japanese bottle brush, Sanguisorba obtusa. Another bare root. All right, so this is similar to what we saw on the goat's beard, but it has just thicker roots. And the tip of it is different looking, isn't it? This crown looks a little bit different than the goat's beard. But anyway, it's pretty similar. You want to look for something that's too shriveled up and dried out, or is it wet or moldy? What you want is a nice moist root that feels like it's alive but doesn't feel slimy, and it doesn't look like it's got any mold growing on it. And so this one looks really healthy to me. So that's good. All right, first blush Hosta. When you order bare root perennials, I mean, they're very young. And so you'll put them in your garden and you'll look at them all season long and you'll think, why aren't you growing? Why aren't you growing? But you have to remember that perennials especially, the first year they sleep, the second year they creep, and the third year they leap. So really the third season that you have your perennials in the garden, they will come on and be full and mature. But the first and second year, they are either sleeping or just barely creeping. And that's normal. Ooh, look at this Hosta. All right. So these roots look nice and long and healthy. It is a very young plant, but that's okay. So this is the first shoots coming up, and this is where more shoots will come up, and these are the roots. So very nice looking hosta plant. All right, here's another goat's beard. So we've already opened a goat's beard. I just want to check and make sure that this one isn't moldy or slimy. Yep, looks good. Very healthy. So that's good. I'm just going to check them all to make sure. And the third goat's beard. Actually, I think I got 5 goat's beards. But, I mean, I said it earlier. Did I say 5 earlier? I think I did. Ooh, this is the best of all of them. Look at that. Nice, strong root system. Nice, healthy plant. No sign of slime or mold or anything else. So, yay. Very happy with that. Raspberry Sundae Hosta. This has bright green leaves with heavy snow white variegation and red stems. Now the instructions on this bag say to soak in water for 30 minutes before planting, and these others don't say that. So, well, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Actually, they all say to soak in water for 30 minutes before you plant. And I knew that about some bare root things, but I wasn't sure about these because they came so healthy already. But yeah, that's a good idea to do. All right, this is what? The Raspberry Sundae Hosta. Oh, look, she's already growing. She has kind of a small root system, but one really long one. And then the sprout's already coming up, so we gotta get her into some soil. Make her happy. All right, so I think the rest of these are things you've already seen. I'm just gonna be opening them up to check their root system, so this is kind of a boring thing to watch, but it's really important that you make sure that your plants came to you nicely. All right, so yeah, there we go. That's a goat's beard with a really nice root system and sprouts starting to come. I hear the church bells. It's Easter morning. Japanese bottle brush. Family photos happening next door. I'll try to be quiet. That looks good. Good morning. Happy Easter. How are you? Yep. Looks good. And one more. Japanese bottle brush. Yep. These are great. These are great looking plants. I'm very happy with the quality of these. I do recommend Brex for your mail order needs. I can't tell you whether they're going to be priced similarly or more expensively or cheaper than what you can get locally. But what I can tell you is that they are high quality plants. They come to you in good shape, and I have had a lot of luck with Brex before. So I do recommend them. If you see something in their catalog or on their website that interests you, go ahead and take a chance on it, because chances are it will work out for you. So, all right, so all these bare root plants, I'm going to soak them in water for 30 minutes before I plant them, and then I will be planting these directly into the garden right now. If they had shipped them to me out of season, then I would have put them into pots and kept them either indoors under lights or in my little protected, not a greenhouse area. But because they shipped them to me in early April, it's fine. It's time to get them into the ground, so I'll be selecting their permanent sites and getting them into the ground hopefully today. So I'll give you an update on them throughout the growing season. But anyway, so far my mail order review of Brex.com is 2 thumbs up. the bare root plants need to get into some soil, and I was trying to figure out where to plant them in the yard today, but most of my perennials are not broken ground yet. So actually, I don't think it's really safe to be digging in any of my perennial borders right now, because I might be digging into something that's already there. So I've decided to just pot these into some gallon-sized pots and let them sit for a couple of weeks in this compost mix. They'll be nice and healthy. I'll just make sure they stay nice and watered and that they don't freeze. And they might put on a little growth actually in these cans. But really I just want to hold them over safely until time to plant. And it won't be, I mean, I could plant them now if I knew where I was putting them. But since I don't really know where I'm putting them yet compared to everything else I already have, it's safest just to put them in a can. I'm officially bummed because I just filmed a whole thing about how I was planting these Dutch iris bulbs into containers, except my camera wasn't turned on. Oh my gosh, when am I going to learn that I need to triple check that my record button has been pushed appropriately? All right, well, so for my Brex order, it came with 50 Dutch iris bulbs, and I put 14 of them out front by the front white fence gate, but that left me 36 that I needed to get into the ground or they would start to dry out like my daffodils did all winter long. And I didn't want that to happen again. So I decided to just take the other 36 bulbs and put them into some containers, because the place where I want them to go into the landscape permanently is not ready yet. There's some work that has to be done around that area, so I can't get them in the ground there yet. So for this season, I've put them in containers. I'm going to be growing these as container flowers. And so okay, well, I don't have anything to show you about how I put them in, but basically I got these big jugs that my trees came in. I filled that up with great compost soil, and then I planted 18 in each of the pots, 3 or 4 inches deep and about 3 inches apart from each other. And then I covered it up with a 2-inch layer of shredded hardwood mulch. And that will keep the soil nice and moist as they live in these containers. So these are going to be sitting here on the driveway until I see them coming up. Also until I get the backyard area fixed up and ready. The place where I'm going to put them in the backyard permanently, I'm actually going to hopefully put these containers in that spot for this year, and then let them bloom in their containers in that spot. And then after they bloom, hopefully the area will be ready to receive them by then. And so I'll take the spent bloom heads off, and then I'll take the bulbs with the greenery attached but no flower heads, and I'll put them into the prepared soil where they're going to go for the long term. So that's my grand plan. I also have here today my 5 goat's beards that I put into pots the other day, and 2 hostas. I do recommend Brex.com as a place for you to order lovely things. I've always been impressed with their spring flowering bulbs, daffodils, tulips, hyacinths, things like that. They're wonderful, and they have a great selection. And I have had good success with their perennials as well, and their summer flowering bulbs like the freesia or these Dutch iris or lilies and things like that. So give Brex a try if you haven't ever tried them before. They're wonderful. I do recommend them. That is what I've got for you today for this mail order plant review. Please have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful gardening season. Hit that like and subscribe button down below so that we can be friends across the season, and let's chat about what's growing in your gardens. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them down there in that comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much, friends. Have a wonderful day. Happy growing.